Hey everyone, Corey Goldsmith here, and today I'm going to talk about how I make rumbles for kicks using iZotope trash. So let's dive into it. All right, so here we are. I have originally I have this kick and rumble when it's all said and done, if it plays. So first thing we're gonna need is a kick, a good kick. Always want a good kick. And that's gonna sound something like this on its own. You know, just your standard kick. But we want to there's a lot of empty space. So we want to do a kind of sub bass, making it out of the rumble. A lot of times people will use reverbs, which is great. We're kind of going to be using a reverb here, just in a different way. In trash, we have these impulse responses in the convolution module. And that's basically what's going to drive our rumble, particularly this category of convolution IRs called reverse reverb. So what does that look like? Well, if we open up trash, we see that there's a convolve here. This is the convolve module. And essentially what it's doing, I mean, if you know what convolution is, it's a mathematical operation that more or less combines two signals. And we're going to combine a reverse reverb with the low end of the kick. So I actually have a preset where I've made this already. And you can see that there's this reverse asylum, which is under the reverse category. And when we play it, it sounds like this. Verses, and you can even hear from the tail end of that kind of what we're going to be going for. You could also crank it to 100. This is going through the trash module. So what we're doing is we're doing this reverse reverb, and then we are distorting it a little bit. So at full, it's going to sound a little bit more like let's say like a hard techno kick rumble sort of combo like this. The kick is obviously not, we don't want that click there of the kick, but we're going to deal with that in a moment. But first, what I'm going to do is throw it back to that softer kind of rumble because I prefer that. So it was at like 14%. So let's do that. Cool. And this is just for the low end. The high end, we can do something similar if we want. And we could even do like... I'm going to go back to the preset the way I had it. What we can do is we can maybe even turn off distort, go to a reverse, maybe reverse concert hall for the top. And let's hear how just the high end sounds. And then maybe let's throw some trash on it. And yeah, I'm not digging it. So I'm just going to rumble the low end and hope that the harmonics that come out from it are going to be enough. Cool. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to record that out so we can separate the kick from the rumble. I still want my kick to be whole. I just want the rumble layer to be trashed. So let's see. What I'm basically going to do is set up a new audio channel. I'm going to bring the kick into it, right? And then we're going to record the output of this trash into the rumble. And I'm going to turn all these things off because we're going to go through them one by one. So let's record this stuff. So let's hear what that sounded like now. And I'm also going to take trash off the kick, going to bypass it, and I'm going to make it mono just so the kick is where it needs to be. I'm going to turn off anything on the bus as well because we don't care about it right now. And let's kind of hear what our kick and rumble combo sound like now. All right, so our rumble sounds like this. We don't want that initial click of the kick, right? Like I already explained, kick, then rumble, right? So you can use either your favorite sidechain compression or your favorite volume shaper. Here I'm just going to use LFO tool because it's easier. And there's just the rumble now, right? Cool. So, and then also what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the volume of this because it's a little low. Hear how that sounds. Let's hear it. Without the rumble. With the rumble. It's a little overwhelming at the moment. We got some post-processing to do. So first of all, I'm going to add, and may sound like a weird idea, but I'm going to add more trash to the rumble just to kind of enhance it and distort it a little bit more. I also have a preset for this one, but basically all I'm doing is lowering the EQ to go more low on the tilt. I have a filter on to kind of isolate the lows, and then I'm distorting it with mild excitement is the wave shaper there, and it's going to sound so bypass, and you can see I'm using a low mix value of 36% as well, and then you'll see when I turn the bypass off that it enhances it a little bit. So actually filter up because I want a little bit more mids. So that sounds a little bit flatter bypassed and then unbypassed. And now the next thing I'm going to do before I go any further is isolate my favorite rumble because it's always going to be different here. You can even see the changing waveforms between them. This one is pretty smooth. Let's hear it. Not enough power though. Let's hear the second one. It's a little bit better. Also better. I think I like the second one most so far. Decisions. Actually, I like that one. Let's go with that one for the sake of brevity. Whoops. Let's copy that, and we're just going to paste it throughout the whole thing. In fact, I'm even going to put a little fade on it on the beginning and end just so we don't get any clicking. And yeah, let's hear how it sounds after I just duplicate the ever-living stuff out of it. And then because I'm OCD, I'm going to turn it into one clip. And now what do we have? Sounding decent. We can still do a little bit more though. I want to EQ it a little bit. Those are actually aligning fairly well. I don't know if I really need to dip any much lows here. Just to get it a little bit tamer, I guess. And then we want bass mono. I don't want any of the sub frequencies in the rumble to be in stereo because the human ear doesn't hear in stereo when it comes to sub frequencies. So we're going to turn the bass mono on. Again, just listen to it without the rumble. And then with. Yeah, it's decent. And now if I want to go the extra step, I could kind of glue them together with a soft clipper. What I'm looking for here is really just to clip the top of the first, kick. And we can kind of check our levels. Ah, that explains it. We're actually not seeing the kick because the rumble is so loud. I still liked it louder. Cool. Yeah, so now what we can do if we want, that's pretty much it. That's our rumble. We've got it. We got it with trash. We made it. We have it. There are some more things we could do to post-process it. But let's just dive in a little bit deeper, show you exactly what, just to quickly review what we did. We threw trash on our kick and then recorded that out into a new track. The main thing was that on our low band between 20 and 181 hertz, we have a reverse reverb, convolve impulse response, and then we did some clipping with the trash distortion module to kind of distort that rumble, the reverse reverb that's coming out of it. And then what we did after recording it, we did some post-processing things, but mainly what we did was we just distorted it a little bit more and also used a volume shaper, which you could have used sidechain compression as well to just separate that initial click of the kick from the rumble we created. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And and I'll try and do these more often and get some tips out there of cool stuff I like doing with code that I've taken part in writing. Yeah, cool. All right, so have a good one, y'all. Enjoy your week.